One day, my team said, "It's time for a team meeting to discuss your progress." So I wheeled myself to the room where all the doctors were meeting. They looked at me and they said, "Becky, based on your progress thus far, we have concluded that you will never walk again. You have a 30% chance of recovery. But the truth is, you will never walk again." I was so angry, so angry. I had been trying so hard to do everything they said. I had been dropped so many times. I had tried so hard to move, and nothing, nothing. And to be told that you will never walk again, I was angry. I didn't deserve that. I had followed God. I had done the things He told me to do. I had plans for my life. My plans did not involve a wheelchair. I was so angry as I wheeled myself back to the room, and I heard a voice say, Psalm 30. And I ignored it. And again the voice said, Psalm 30. Now I had no idea what Psalm 30 said, and I was in no mood to read my Bible. I climbed back into my bed as I had learned to transfer myself. My Bible was on the bedside table next to me. And I picked it up and I looked at it, and the voice said Psalm 30. I picked it up and I looked at it again. I said, no, I'm not going to. I'm not going to read this. I'm angry. I'm angry at you. I'm angry at you for putting me in this place. I had plans. My plans were to get married, have a family, 4 kids, a white picket fence, serve you in some capacity, and you have devastated my life. I will never believe a word you say. I will not trust you. I am angry at you. Psalm 30. Psalm 30. I said no. I picked up my Bible and I flung it across the room. I had never spoken that way to God. That night, I was wrestling with God. And it is okay to wrestle with God. Psalm 30. My Bible was across the room. I transferred myself back into my wheelchair. I picked up a reacher stick that they had given to me. I wheeled myself over to where the Bible was on the floor, used that little reacher stick, and used it to pick up the Bible, wheeled myself back into the bed, and I opened it to Psalm 30. O Lord my God, I called to you for help, and you healed me. You brought me up from the grave, you spared me from going down into the pit. Weeping may remain for a night, but rejoicing comes in the morning. You turned my wailing into dancing. My God, I will give you thanks forever. Now you have to understand something. I had no idea what Psalm 30 said. But this verse says, I called to you for help and you healed me. You turned my wailing into dancing, and in order to dance, you need legs. So I said, okay, God, if that's it, if that's the verse, then I'm going to trust you, and I'm going to keep praying this verse. Then I heard Psalm 40. So I flipped the scriptures over and read, I waited patiently for the Lord. He turned to me and heard my cry. He lifted me out of the slimy pit, out of the mud and mire. He set my feet upon a rock and gave me a firm place to stand. he gave me a firm place to stand. At that moment, I did not have a firm place to stand. Now, one might think as I read these scriptures that might give me faith to suddenly leap out of my bed and God would miraculously touch my body and I would begin to walk. But I didn't really think that that was what God had intended for me to do in that moment. But I did cling to it as a promise. And then he reminded me of the story of the unjust judge. Jesus told a parable to show that you should pray and not give up. He said, in a town there was a judge who did not fear God, and he did not care about people. There was a widow who kept coming to him and pleading with him, "Grant me justice against my adversary." For a long time he refused. But finally he said to himself, "Because this woman keeps bugging me, I will answer her request. Otherwise, she will wear me out by always asking." That night I said, "Okay, I give up. I surrender. You can keep me in this chair for the rest of my life, and I will serve you. But I will bug you every day for the rest of my life for healing in my body. I will wear you out with my crying. I will not give up. I will seek your face, and I will bug you." The next day, I asked the doctors to increase my physical therapy.